Spacey Sims, and we're back with Muller Color X Malice Unlimited, and we should not ever have the sound issues that we had in parts 5 through 9. I processed the videos, and it's not terrible, it's just kind of muffled and I sound distant, but I'm as loud as I normally am, so hopefully it's fine. I just do not have 5 hours to re-record everything, so I'm sorry, very sorry. I have disabled my computer microphone, the built-in mic, so that my software will stop switching to it, because it just for some reason switches to the quote-unquote microphone array, which is the built-in microphone in the computer, as opposed to my headset that's plugged in. I don't know why. I don't know why it does it. Since I set the settings, it just decides that it doesn't want to fucking use it sometimes. So, yeah. So I don't have to check each and every time, because I will forget again. Especially if I'm on a roll and I can record a couple of parts in a row, like I did that one day. I recorded those 5 frickin' hours, and it was an entire day worth of recording. So it's fixed. We shouldn't have that problem anymore, and I'm sorry you had to suffer, but welcome to my month of August. I can't wait. It's only half over at this point, and I just can't wait to see how much worse it's gonna get. Oh god. You may never see this, because Lord knows my whole computer might just catch on fire. I don't know. Anyway, oh god. That just makes me think horrible things. Anyway, we're in the Minagishi side story, and we'll see if we get our ending in this. We're in the second half of it, so I would assume we'll get the ending in this part, but we'll see. So, since we hadn't gotten together in a while, we had no shortage of topics to discuss. By the time I stepped out, it was already night. Salsasuka had to work night shift, so he went back first. Unagi and Enomoto had to go see clients, so they left the office. Your home is this way, right? Yes, it's right up ahead. Unagi had asked Shiraishi to walk me back home. Hey, you walk kind of slow. I'm sorry, I'm walking faster than usual, but our strides are too different. It's because he's like 8 feet tall. Well, that's fine if you're in no rush. I missed you, my little precious. Well, Shiraishi said that he slowed down his pace to match my stride. This sounds rude, but I didn't expect that. I figured that he was the type that wouldn't do that even if he were asked to. Maybe he was more understanding than I realized. Shiraishi and I walked down the street quietly as the streetlights lit our way. I just realized that I was rarely alone with Shiraishi. During the X-Day incidents, we worked separate cases. Once that had all calmed... Wow. Man. Once that had all calmed down, he just up and vanished. How have you been recently? Recently? Yeah, you haven't been contacted by Adonis since then. Was he actually worried about me, or you haven't been contacted by Adonis since then? You asking because you think they would have? While a little confused at the sudden question, I nodded in response. Yes, Adonis is destroyed now. I heard that there are some survivors, but the police are after them too. I think the remnants probably don't have time to worry about me. How can you be so sure? Huh? They put a collar on you and asked you to investigate the incidents, knowing the risks. I doubt a group with that strong of a fixation on you would give up so easily. Please don't say scary stuff like that. And the best time for a good scare is while you're living a carefree life. Stop it. I'm not living a carefree life right now, Shiraishi. Don't fucking scare me. That's true, but... Even though the executioners of the X-Day incidents have been caught, as long as the remnants of Adonis are on the run, it's not over yet. It's like, knowing look. Like... Me being here is proof of that. Huh? He muttered something that made me look up. Shiraishi looked down at me with a confused look. Shiraishi, were you brought back to work here for something Adonis-related? Huh? I asked that with a little confidence, and Shiraishi looked at me with wide eyes. He's like, you heard me? Yeah, you said it out loud. I thought you were implying that there was a new discovery that caused them to need your help. Right. Something like that. I told you, didn't I? I have something to do. I'm not going to be released just yet. I see. That makes sense. It's not all over yet. And look at the beautiful look on his face. Even though, like, inside his head, he was brought back by Adonis, obviously. Ooh. I may have been letting my guard down. Thanks to Shiraishi, I gathered my bearings. In any case, you should be more careful. Thank you for your concern. Shiraishi, you're actually very kind. Concerned? Kind? Me? Huh? You just told me to be more careful. I was just... Shiraishi? Yeah, it's probably that. If anything happened to you, Yanagi and the others would feel bad. Probably? After his uncertain sentiment, Shiraishi came to an abrupt halt. Say, what's your name again? Huh? It's a little late to be asking that. Oh, Hoshino, I just remembered. What's your first name, though? You forgot my last name until now? This person really wasn't interested in me as a person at all. No, until we're in his route. Then he loves us, because we're so charming and adorable, I guess. I was actually shocked at this revelation, so I responded with a sigh. It's Spacey. Spacey Hoshino. Ah, Spacey. Sorry. Huh? I was more surprised at his apology than I was at him calling me by my first name. We hadn't known each other for long, but from what I knew, he wasn't the kind who apologized. I'm confused because I honestly wasn't sure which thing he was apologizing for. Shiraishi, what's the matter? I don't know. What I do know is that you should really be more careful. I know that. I'm a police officer and I'll be more wary. And that's not what I meant. I meant in regards to me. Of you? I don't know if you're aware of it, but you're much less suspicious of me than when we first met. Of course I am. We cooperated to crack the same case. I think it's natural for me to be more comfortable around you than when we first met. Wow, and you call yourself a cop. Ooh, whoops, clicked the wrong button. Can't you tell from all the crime that happens the world over? Just because you spend time with someone doesn't guarantee anything. Your friend could suddenly change one day. Don't thoughts like that ever cross your mind? I've never even thought of that. He's like literally being like, I am shady. And she's just like, oh, nah. You're so carefree. I guess ignorance really is bliss. Shiraishi stood still for a moment and looked up at the sky with a sigh. If you intend to continue to be a police officer, you need to be thinking about that. No one knows when that day will come. And that includes me. Shiraishi was probably worried about me. It was difficult to grasp what exactly he was trying to say, but he seemed sad about something. Could it be that Shiraishi experienced something like that in the past? There was always a chance that someone close to you could drastically change. It's true that random events could spark altercations within your friends and family, but I still found that difficult to imagine happening in my case. I'll be careful of it. But Shiraishi, as an officer, it's important to suspect others, but I think it's equally important to trust. I hope you, too, find it in your heart to trust others. Not the right to. I said that with earnest, but Shiraishi looked at me full of disbelief. People will easily take advantage of you. No, I just want to believe in people who are close to me for my own sake. If that's the case, then be sure to keep that up. I'm sure you'd rather trust and be betrayed than to doubt and be betrayed anyway. Your way, you can at least be yourself. Yeah. I thought he said that ironically or as a joke, but Shiraishi's voice lacked his usual lightheartedness. I wondered if something drastic happened while he was away from work. I was honestly worried for him. Maybe those feelings showed on my face because Shiraishi grinned at me. Maybe I scared you too much. What I'm meaning to say is, if you're going to get closer with Minagishi, just be more careful. Huh? Why would he bring up Minagishi now? You want to know more about Minagishi, right? When you denied the intent behind that chocolate, that's what it felt like to me. That's not true. Anyway, what's on the surface isn't everything. It's for your own benefit to realize that. You know, there's an awful lot of men in this game who are like, they seem kind of nice and adorable on the outside and are just like kind of raging assholes inside. Like, that's like a common theme if you think about it. Like, Sasazuka's actually salty, bitter, and kind of an asshole on the outside, and that kind of asshole on the inside. Sure, he has a soft, squishy, like, middle, right? You know? He's still the crunchy cookie on the outside. But he's got a lot of crunch and a little bit of squish, okay? Shiraishi, like, looks kind of like innocent and nice, pokes fun at you, kind of seems aloof, but still likes to insult you. And Minagishi is that, like, again, looks like the nice nerd and is kind of a dick underneath. There's a lot of assholes in this game. Like, there are a lot of guys that are some version of an asshole. Like, I mean, holy shit. But I like them all. So what does that say about me? Usually I do. Look, I like the glasses assholes, okay? So Minagishi gets a free pass. If he wasn't wearing glasses, I might be like, what the fuck is with this bastard? But he's got glasses, so it's an instant forgive, right? I don't know. And I liked Shiraishi from the get-go, so it didn't matter what he did, you know? Same with Sasazuka. Look, I pick a character and I'm like, I like them. Doesn't matter what they do to me. If I'm not like, I love him from the get-go, I'm gonna get pissed when you do shit I don't like. Unless I fall in love with you along the way, you know? That's why I like Van Helsing being an asshole to me. Anyway, I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Oh my god, I just saw this line. People who appear to be good people also tend to have really weird fetishes. Fetishes? Did you imagine something weird? I did not. I am now. In the end, this all wrapped around to Shiraishi teasing me again. I wanted to say something back, but I'm already back home. I said goodbye to Shiraishi at the entrance to my apartment. After I got inside, I took off my coat. I went to boil some water to make tea while I thought about some things. That's when I noticed Minagishi just laying in my bed naked. What? You're very presumptuous, but I'll take it. I'm just kidding. That'd be fucking hilarious. I don't think he'd go that far. He wants to torment us for as long as possible. Maybe it was because this was the first time I'd seen him in a long while. But something felt different about Shiraishi tonight. He seemed to gloss over something by changing the subject to Minagishi. But he probably wouldn't tell me what it was, even if I called him out on it. That's the kind of person he was. But still, he said he still said I should be careful around Minagishi. Minagishi appeared to be an earnest person, despite how much he loved to joke around. He was also in a senior position, so there was something about him that was mysterious. I think that he's kind enough, though. What? But, okay, maybe. I recalled what happened at the end of the year. When I reported the collar to Investigation HQ through Sasazuka and asked for guidance, though indirectly, the words I heard from Minagishi through Sasazuka left a strong impression on me. Investigation HQ direction will continue unchanged. All X-Day incidents executioners will be captured, and the Adonis hideout must be found immediately. The agent that infiltrated the police and placed the collar on her will be investigated in parallel, but that's a low-priority target. Capturing that person will likely not stop the functions of Adonis. We're in a grave situation. So we'll take advantage of the collar as a means to locate Adonis instead. The safety of Officer Hoshino is not our only priority. I'll have her pushed forward not as a victim, but as a police officer. I remember the kind of voice we gave him. It's been like a day. Also, he doesn't get a specific voice, so. Those words gave me salvation. I wasn't a burden that dragged us down. He told me there was something I can do as an officer. Hold. Swear to God, it's got to be my TV. Like, I turn it on and I'm allergic to it. I don't know. Because I was perfectly fine for the hour or so that I've been up eating breakfast, doing whatever before I decided, okay, I'll record. And then the second I put my headset on, I start sneezing. Am I allergic to my headset? I feel like I'm allergic to my fucking computer. Anyway. Was I able to become stronger? When I'd first had the collar placed on me, I think I thought of myself more as a victim. I wondered why this was happening to me, what I needed to do to be saved. I just met Sasazuka then, but he said to me, "Don't think everyone will sympathize with you just because your little life is in danger." That was a clear warning to me that I shouldn't passively leave my fate in the hands of someone else. In the same way, Minagishi also respected my own decision. It was Minagishi's words that made me want to trust the investigation headquarters. He's an amazing person. I can't hold a candle to him. Oh, a message. I realized that there was a notification on my phone, so I stopped. It's from Seiji Minagishi. He had such impeccable timing. Well, you know. His messages arrived so often when I was just thinking about him. Felt like I'd have a heart attack from the shock. It's like he knows. Are you free at night sometime next week? Oh my God, he's asking us out. I have the night shift on the 11th next week, but other than that, I'm free. Then may I have some of your time on the 14th? Sure. Is something going on? I'm just asking you out on a date. That's... Okay, look, I know underneath he's a little sadistic, but this is like nerdy adorable. Like, can I have some of your time? Sure. Like, is anything going on? No, I was asking you on a date. You are such a fucking nerd. It just comes out so, like, dorky. Like, I am asking you on a date. Like, so professional and nerdy. I love it. And then he's like a sadistic little fuck underneath. I don't even know what to make of him, but I still kind of love him. What? March 14th. That's White Day. A date? He has to be teasing me, right? Who knows? Oh, right. Date time. If he doesn't kiss me, I'm going to be fucking mad that there's any kind of romancy in this and I don't get a kiss CG. There better be a fucking kiss CG. Anyway, where are we going? And that'll be a surprise for when we arrive. I reread the conversation on my phone and then took a deep breath and closed my eyes. I needed to calm down. He did say the location was going to be a secret until he got there. I mean, here's the thing. I do get, because like underneath the surface, it is a little bit of a weird relationship because her personality, like, taking me out of the game, right? Just her herself. She is a little, like, awkward and, like, oh God, I'm embarrassed about everything. I mean, we saw that in Sasuzuka's. Oh no, I gotta close my eyes and hide my face when we're having sex. You've been fucking this man for 6 months. Get the fuck over it, okay? I hate that shit. But, like, let's just take that out. She is a little, like, kind of shy, awkward baby Bambi. You know what I mean? Like, in the sense of the relationship things. Like, what? Oh my God, And he's a little more straightforward and, like... So, super high level, super bottom. It is a little weird. You're like, it's a little odd, given his personality. Because it's kind of like I like that I could dominate her. That's a little fucked up. Like, considering the work difference, the difference in your positions at work. You know what I mean? This is not, he's in a higher position than me at work, but, like, we're kind of an equal footing on the relationship. This, absolutely not. Like, his personality, the way they're kind of painting it is, she's a little subservient, not just at work, but she would be at home. Yeah, okay, I dig that. Like, I mean, look, that's okay if that's your relationship dynamic, but it just seems like he's taken advantage of it a little bit. I still like him, but I can see why it's a little awkward in their positions and these two particular characters together. But I'm self-uncertain here and being like, shh, girl, don't say shit like that because we like this, and I'm okay with this. He would not be dominating me. That motherfucker would find himself dominated on occasion. I might like it sometimes, I don't know, but... Oh God, I wouldn't be. I'd be like, ha ha ha, you're such a nerd, I love it. Look, I like the assholes, okay? So, and not in real life, but in this game, Spacey'd be like, yes, I'm here for this. And then he wouldn't like me, but whatever. He brought me to what looked like a high-end restaurant. Oh, you're gonna have to put out now. The dim ambient lights and the light on the table seemed to flicker and dance off of one another. The view through the glass gave the night scenery a touch of color, but didn't interfere with the sights. He's probably still wearing his fucking work suit, and we are probably still in our thing, because that's the one thing about this game. They don't really change your outfits. I mean, they kind of gave Sasuzuka a side outfit, but I don't remember if he had that in the first game. Like the outfit he had in this one, with like the vest and the blue shirt. But if they don't give Minagishi a date outfit, I'm going to be a little sad. This is like a high-end, big-budget game. Could have given our sprites different outfits. I've been spoiled by Love Spell. And all of the outfits on all of our fucking sprites, and us included. This was at the office district of West Shinjuku. I was dining at a restaurant on the 49th floor of a high-rise building with Minagishi alone. Nope, he's still wearing the same old outfit. Really? Couldn't be bothered to give him the date night outfit. I'm just saying. I expect a little more. I expect more now. I've been spoiled. Oh, Shino, do you drink wine? I'm gonna need a lot. Yes, although I don't drink it enough to have any preferences. I drove here, so I'll have to refrain from drinking any tonight. But that doesn't mean I can't get you drunk and take advantage of you. I just feel like that's an underlying thing. I'm gonna allow it to happen. But the dishes I was going to order pair very well with wine, so please go ahead and enjoy. To indulge if you... Well, basically, enjoy indulging if you wish. Then, maybe I'll just have a little. I sat down at the seat next to the window, but we still felt awfully close. Minagishi smiled while making the food orders and then turned to me, and he ordered for us. I mean, we'd be like, honestly, if you were going to someplace like this, you'd be like, you know what? Your recommendation, whatever you decide. But it seemed kind of more like he's like, I've decided what we're ordering. Okay. Sure. Well then, thank you very much for accepting my invitation to dinner. I know, this is definitely he said it was a date. It's definitely a date. People are going to talk. Not at all. I should be thanking you for inviting me. This is a very high-end restaurant. Maybe I should have dressed up. Yeah, you're probably still wearing your work outfit, but so is he. He has no right to judge. No, it's all right. There's not a dress code here. I considered taking you to a more expensive place, but I thought you might not be able to enjoy the date if I went all out and you were taken aback. Are you actually a little nervous? Because I thought you had more control over yourself than that. I'm curious about you now. This place looks plenty expensive to me. In any case, it's your show tonight. I hope you'll relax and enjoy it. He smiled gently and I looked away. To be honest, I was completely embarrassed, but it'd be rude for me to express it. I composed myself and managed a bow. Thank you. I'll do my best to enjoy it. I gave him a slightly awkward smile. Minagishi seemed to be satisfied with that as he smiled back. A glass was brought to the table and red wine was poured into it. Minagishi opted for an alcohol-free white wine. That exists? I mean, no, there's like alcohol-free beer, but like alcohol-free wine? The fuck? That just seems weird. The beautiful contrast between the red and white seemed to have relaxed me a little. Just like crime will never end completely. Oh, just like crime will never end completely, our battle has no end either. I was like, what? But with Shinjuku's release, we could put a bow on that part. So let's toast to that. We could put a bow on that part. I can't read! Oh my god, I can't read anything he just said. It's like I just drank. I had some of that alcohol-free wine and now I'm off my rocker. I don't know. Yes, cheers. We clinked glasses with each other and the liquid within rippled. If this date becomes talking about work, I'm going to call shenanigans and want a refund. Were all these couples here because it's White Day? It's an important day for men to give whatever to women, right? We don't do that here, so I don't know. But he had to make those reservations in advance. I'm just saying. I looked around and saw happy couples in every direction. There were some couples that clearly splurged to come here. There were also some older couples. This feels kind of embarrassing. There are couples everywhere around us. I'm worried that I'll stand out. He's like, we could make out now if you want. I'm like, don't worry. I'm sure everyone else here thinks that we blend in. You and I? It is a date, Spacey. Did she not? He said it was. It's not like there was any room for confusion. Yes, a couple enjoying dinner here on White Day. What else do we look like? We can't make any excuses. Minagishi was really quite mean. If I had to compare him to someone, Sasazuka would be much more straightforward when chasing after someone. This nagging feeling that I'm being toyed with was making me restless. She's smarter than she acts sometimes. He's not a bad person, but I have no idea what's going through his mind. I think it's this that makes it the relationship feel awkward. She's like, I think he's toying with me, but I kind of like... It's not that. She's like, I don't know. And she's a little, like, wishy-washy about it. Like, she doesn't know what to do. She keeps going out with him, and she doesn't, like, know. And then he's kind of chasing her down, but he's definitely... It's kind of like, the deer's a little injured, but you're tormenting the damn thing before you take it out. Like, he is like, if we keep sneaking up and it's going to keep trying to run away, it's going to hurt it more. But eventually it's just going to bleed to death. We're gonna make it suffer while we, like, hunt it down. Like, instead of just taking the poor thing out and kill it. Jesus! Like, but, and he's enjoying the torture, but she's going along with it and then being like, I don't know. Like, girl, I need, like, that's what makes it weird. It's her, the way she reacts to it, you know? But, I get, yeah, I mean, the power dynamic, definitely, but that's what gets him off, so, I mean. This indescribable haze was still clouding my mind as I tried to bite off the cured ham salad. As I tried a bite of the cured ham salad. Oh, this is delicious. That's good to hear. And this is White Day after all, so I did bring another present. But giving you something material may look too serious. I had to think long and hard to find a fitting gift in return for your chocolate. Is it you in a bow? It's his dick in a box, isn't it? Just kidding. Could you fucking... If you don't fucking kiss me in this, I'm gonna be real disappointed. Anyway, but the chocolate I gave you really wasn't anything special. Oh, right. I'm sorry I didn't tell you earlier. Your chocolate was delicious. That's great to hear. Did it suit your palate? Yes, very. I usually don't eat sweets, but the bittersweet chocolate you gave me went quite well with alcohol. It was quite the wonderful experience. Oh, I knew you didn't like sweets much, so I tried to find something fitting. You knew? Yes, back at the investigation headquarters, you were often drinking black coffee. I figured that meant you didn't really like sweets, so I made it bittersweet chocolate. Although I did wonder whether to make it the same as everyone else. She made special chocolate for him, and you're trying to tell me... Okay, you're just either extremely considerate of everyone around you, which is fucking rare indeed, or you had a little bit of a lady hard-on for this man. I'm gonna guess deep down underneath you had a little bit of a hard-on for this man. Sure, you're a cop and you need to observe things, so, oh, I noticed he drinks black coffee, probably doesn't like sweets, but you thought about it, not like, hey, I observed this. When you were making chocolate, you were like, let me see, what would he like? Huh, he doesn't like sweets. And then you analyze, you spend a little more time thinking about what he wanted. I'm just saying. Whether you want to admit it or not, a little bit of a lady boner for him. I don't blame her. I think he's hot. I was thinking about how the thought I'd put into it was worthwhile, but Minagishi had gone quiet. I looked down to see if I had just said something wrong. No, he's like, oh my god, you really do love me. He was fucking with you until you said that. Now he's like, oh, now he's turned on. So you made something for me that was completely different from the other chocolates you gave out. Huh? Don't take it the wrong way! Oh, girl. You don't really differentiate the friendship chocolates, or the chocolates you handed to men, all bittersweet chocolates. Minagishi... Yes? Why do you ask? He was teasing me again. I think it's because he's like, I'm gonna need you to do the math here, girl. I knew that in my mind, so I wasn't willing to let him drag me around like this anymore. Alright, stand up for yourself, I like that. After I asked him that, Minagishi's eyes widened a little in surprise. I wanted to know how you feel. It'd make me very happy if you had made it while specifically thinking of me. I mean, technically she did. He kept glossing it over and deflecting like this. I don't think he knows how to actually, like... Are you into me? Yeah, oh cool. That would be kind of slightly letting someone else have control, right? You know? I'm just gonna lay all my cards on the table. Are you into me? Because I'm kind of into you. Yes, I am. Okay, you're not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe he was saying from the heart, but the way he did was off-putting to me. To be honest, I was wondering about the truth. Why did Minagishi bother with me? See, I guess this is what's weird, too. You want, like, okay, we're doing this, we're having a relationship with it, but you're so hesitant about it that it makes me nervous. Initially, I thought he wanted to break down the wall between the headquarters and regional office, as he said. I didn't doubt that he intended to reward me for all my hard work. But, excuse me, it seems that I'm bad at making conversation. When I talk to my friends in private, they always get upset and tell me that I need to stop giving people that emotionless stare. I think I understand what they mean. It'd be sad if you ever got mad at me, so I'll stop messing around. Messing around? Maybe he doesn't know how to be serious. I don't know, we'll find out. I touched the carpaccio appetizer with my fork. I tried to think of a way to change the subject while I looked outside the window. It sure is beautiful. The scenery from here, that is. Yes, you can quite literally see all of Shinjuku from this vantage point. Oh, what are you seeing? in the distance. That are you seeing? Okay, whatever. What you see in the distance is all the high-rises near the south exit of the station. The strong light there is probably Kabukicho. This is the town we protect from crime. This is the town which we'll continue to protect. I stare at the scenery, and suddenly Minagishi said, I'm sure the night scenery will be even more beautiful next month. When the quarantine will be lifted, people will flow inward, and nightlife will be much busier. Speaking of which, I heard Investigation HQ will be disbanded soon. Correct. This will be the end of a chapter. Having the investigation headquarters last too long will put a strain on the regional office. And yet, you don't look too happy about it. That's not true. As long as the investigation headquarters remains, the incidents can't be considered over. It's better to disband it. But it felt so strange. I felt sadder about it than I thought I would. It wasn't that I'm sad just because I wouldn't see the people at the investigations HQ anymore. It felt like there was a hole in my heart. Is this really the end? Should it really end like this? That uncertain warning bell sounded in my heart. I also feel sad. Huh? Excuse me. I suppose you may misunderstand me for my choice of words, but a part of me definitely wanted to look at you a little longer. If she wasn't doubting you, that'd be extremely romantic. Flips head around. What? Look, I'm going to be easily taken in by this man, okay? He's got glasses. I took a sip of the tomato cream soup and then put the spoon down. Oh, tomato cream soup. Who knew when the next time we'd be able to speak to each other would be? So I approached the conversation from a different direction and stared straight at Minagishi. Why? Why would you miss me so much? I suppose it's love at first sight. Even I can tell that was a joke. I guess you won't let me deflect it. It's natural for you to think that something's wrong. This is a diversion from the norm for a boss and subordinate. Yes? When you mentioned that you wanted to express thanks or said it was to facilitate better communication with the region, that was a lie. So I have to think that there's another reason why you'd give me so much attention. Girl, okay. When you wanted to thank me for helping, you didn't invite Mochito, so I have to think that there's something else, but I don't know what it is. You really don't have any self-confidence, do you? I mean, I can't blame her. I'd be the same way. So you asked me why. Is this a joke? No, I think you're hot. Wait, are you blind? Right. This was rude of me. I'll tell you what I'm really thinking. He said that with a serious tone and then looked out at the night. His aura seemed to tense up. He's like, I just like fucking the junior employees, okay? I like toying with them, messing with them, having sex with them, and never calling them again. Oh. Oh. Wish you hadn't told me that. I was mortified. Mortified? I blinked multiple times at the unexpected word. To be honest, when I first met you, I didn't notice you at all. Just thought you were an ordinary rookie. I think that's normal. I'm just one of your many subordinates. But the one who led the way to the solving of... But the one who led the way to the solving of... No, it wasn't X Day, but whatever. We didn't solve the full X Day thing, but we helped solve something, right? Well, anyway, X Day was also that same, just one of my subordinates. The tone he spoke in was unfamiliar to me. Are you feeling guilt because you just were like one of the masses and then I turned to be a standout? I mean, that happens. I'm one of the masses at work. Our CEO doesn't know me from a hole in the wall. You know what I mean? But if you do something to stand out, they're like, okay, cool. Like, but they're not going to be like, I felt guilty because I didn't realize you were going to be the standout. I'm like 1 in a million, you know? And not in the good way. You know what I mean? Yeah, the tone he spoke in was unfamiliar to me. Usually he spoke in a softer manner, but right now, there was this mortified tone in his voice that was deep and seemingly unsteady. And his quiet eyes seemed to express all kinds of emotions. Joy, anger, regret? They all mixed together and made his eyes colorless. Minagishi continued on in a monotone voice. I was added to the X-Day incident investigations from the early stages. I was confident that we'd solve them. But you know how that turned out. The quarantine was proof that the police had lost. I could only watch as every citizen was issued a firearm. And in the end, when it broke through the darkness was you, a rookie officer, and several dropouts from the police force. You're feeling sorry for yourself right now. Minagishi paused his speech and began cutting into the main course of steak while giving me a slight smile. Seems like you wouldn't be interested in me because I showed you up, is basically where I'm... Okay, this is interesting. Huh. I have no ulterior motives for all of you. I just simply wanted to know. What could have been done differently? Something similar happens again. Could possibly be done to prevent it. Are you using me for information? Because I was really hoping you were into me. I'm sad. What am I lacking? Yeah, I know. What led you all to solve these crimes wasn't simply a matter of ability. He's right. I had the collar placed on me. Yanagi and his team worked outside the rules. How we cooperated with the investigation HQ, the fact that the person who put the collar on you worked right next to you and was in love with you, and that's the only reason we got the collar, not because we're anything special. Well, sorta. We're special to Saeki, but a lot of coincidences and inevitabilities mixed together. Yeah. And gathered all the pieces of the puzzle miraculously. Good lord! If even a single piece was missing, it wouldn't have led to this result. You right, Birds? So half of this is about my personal pride as a cop. The police organization cannot change overnight. I may be among the senior management, but I'm still beholden to the organization's rules. However, that's precisely why the people who were out on the streets... Why it is that the people who are out in the streets and take part of the executive meetings must reflect upon our mistakes. Okay, that didn't... You get what it means, but it wasn't worded well. Minagishi closed his eyes as if he was enduring something. When he opened his eyes again, I sensed a fire of determination in his gaze. In the same way those who were murdered by Adonis were forced to take responsibility, despite it being outside the law, it applies to us as well. And there are those who have perished due to police misconduct. Responsibility can't be taken through the law. We'll atone by protecting the nation's future. And to do that, we must use everything at our disposal. Otherwise, we'd be fairly useless as police. His clear, definitive tone was followed by silence. He lives in an entirely different world than me. Not only did he protect the safety of the people by solving crimes, he was also in charge of keeping the police organization. He looked into the future. He really was a leader. Thank you for telling me that. I just wanted to say that it's pretty difficult for me to interact with you while you suspect me of hiding my true intentions. What I just told you is one of the major reasons I wanted to know more about you. Granted, there is more than that. The truth is, I think you're an attractive woman, and I wanted to approach you. There you go again. He joked, so I laughed. Minagishi, I've told you this previously, but I wasn't able to do this on my own. It wasn't just Yanagi. Minagishi and everyone you and everyone at Investigations HQ contributed in a much greater way. Minagishi likely knew that. He expressed regret by remembering those he could not save instead of remembering the ones that he did save. He wasn't just that way with these incidents. He regretted things that may happen in the future. But I still want to tell him, even if you deny it yourself, I'll continue to say it. We, the police, solved the X-Day incidents. That's right. After saying that, Minagishi smiled and then returned to his gentle gaze. I was being a bit pitiful there. And now enough of that. Let's enjoy the dinner. It'd be a waste if we didn't savor all of this excellent food. Yeah. Okay, so the romance was, like, not real at all? Because I'm just disappointed. I wanted the romance to be real. But every time he's like, I mean, you're hot, and she's like, give me a fucking break. Stop shooting him down. I want a kissy CG. You kind of put this man out there on a platter, and you're like, did you? No, you can't. It's not real. Throws it against the wall. No, but... Oh. I had a little more alcohol, and we exchanged a few more words. The tension seemed to ease up in the second half. It's because you were a little drunk. After enjoying the tender Japanese beef that melted in my mouth and that juicy dessert, I rode in the passenger seat of Minagishi's car and headed home. I'm sorry for having you drive me back. I looked out at the scenery outside the window as it moved along with the car. I swayed to the comforting vibrations of the car as I looked out the windshield. Not at all. I can't have a lady go home alone at night. Seeing how you easily say things like that, you must really be a gentleman. I'm happy that you trust me, but are you sure about that? See, and then he's like, I may look genteel, but I'm still a man. Who knows? I may jump you at home. I kinda hope, but you're not gonna. People who are really like that don't say things like that. With regards to you, I think you should probably be a bit more wary of your surroundings. Shiraishi told me the same thing. He said I should be more careful. So long as I don't know the reason why I was targeted, there's a chance I'll be targeted again. Well, then it would just be helpful to have Minagishi in your bed every night, wouldn't it? He'd protect your ass. I'm just saying. Look, I'm looking out for us. He's correct. Minagishi held onto the steering wheel tightly while he glanced over at me to make eye contact before turning his attention back to the road. We haven't learned everything about Adonis. You know that as well. This is just a theory of mine. If the same thing happened at the end of this year, how would you respond? When he said that sharply, I felt my heart jump. That reminded me of Shiraishi's words. If you intend to continue to be a police officer, you need to be thinking about it. And no one knows when that day will come. Yeah, and there was no guarantee that something similar wouldn't happen again. There was a part of me that was turning away from that sense of danger. I was scared. I continued to tell myself that this issue was already over and done. But it was just as Minagishi said. I had been protected by good luck this time. I might not be as lucky next time. If I had been targeted with a stronger type of malice, would I have been able to fight back? I think I'd do the same thing. That's the only answer that I can give right now. Wow! Meaning you'd be willing to sacrifice yourself to stand up against them again. You're fine with yourself being hurt rather than others? Those words that I said in the past were repeated back to me. Now I don't know what to say. The way he said that was intense, and I understood that he was saying that out of worry. You followed the directions from the collar and followed the incidents without relying on your fellow police. In the end, we were able to help, but I'm sure that you were worried because you had no direction. Doing things the same way might not yield the same result. There's a possibility that you'll be pushed against a corner with no way out. I'd like you to push me against a corner with no way out. You knew that was coming! You knew it was coming as I was reading the line. I knew it was going to happen. I was saying that in my head the whole time. Oh my god. You might be pushed into a corner. Yeah. Oh god. I know. That's why... Why? That's not a kiss, but he's beautiful. Oh, I love it. Please rely on me more. At that moment, he stopped the car at a red light. Something warm touched my hair. Oh, dear God, kiss this man. My eyes widened as he brushed his fingers through my hair. Okay, come on. Rely more on the police. And me. Nikishi, we still don't know why Adonis chose you. No, unless the culprit's caught, we may never know. Yes. That's why there's a chance they'll come after me again. That's not a problem. He pats my head again. Like a father, or perhaps like a lover. Don't say the father part! That ruins the whole I want you to make out with him later. Jesus, don't destroy this for me. God, she's almost like, I want to have his babies. Oh, you just fucking killed my lady boner. The warmth from his hand told me that his gesture was full of care. If you'll put your trust in me, I'll protect you at all costs. See, oh my god, fall in love with this man. Minagishi, I told you earlier, didn't I? I still regret that you solved the incidents with the help of the detective agency. Yes? I was partially out of anger from my own incompetence. But that's not all. You're a member of the police, but you didn't rely on us early on. We were unable to notice that one of our own was going through such suffering. This is like a camaraderie moment, but I still have a heart-on for this man, okay? And that's what I find regrettable. Minagishi's smile was illuminated by the red light and was directed at me. Naturally, we're in different positions, and as long as I'm not your direct superior, it'd be difficult for me to notice. But it's the people of the headquarters who created the environment where the people of the regional office have difficulty voicing their concerns. I regret that I wasn't able to break down that wall soon enough. The police only treated the symptoms. That was a common saying voiced by the media. The police only act after the crime has been committed. No matter how much the victims screamed, they usually didn't reach the investigators. I'm sure Minagishi has said this because he's aware of that. Now that we're better acquainted, please voice your troubles to me. Yes. It's actually, okay. It's a nice moment in the, look, I know I'm, way on the top, but I do care about the people underneath me. So if you just take it as a work thing, take the tender, touching, beautiful date that we just had moment out, okay? It's actually nice to have upper-level management people be like, I realize that we're doing a shit job listening to you, and we do care, and I want you to be able to rely on us and, tell me the problems that you're having because, whatever. Especially because in this specific instance, you were targeted, almost killed. You couldn't trust us, and it was because of this wall that we kind of built. And that kind of makes us realize that a lot of other people can be in trouble, and we're fucking things up. You know what I mean? So it's a nice, like, business kind of thing. You're like, it's nice to work someplace where the upper level management actually does give a shit about the little peons on the bottom, right? Because the little peons on the bottom are what's holding your fucking ass up, okay? So it's nice. But then there's that also under layer, which they just keep trying to gloss over in this of like, I want to protect you because you love me, goddammit. Just admit it. Like, there's the romantic undertones, which I fucking love. But we ain't get, that's probably the last CG, and it's not, we're not gonna make out with this man, and we're just going to be like, so are we romancing him or not? I don't know what's happening here. Like, it's on again, off again with the romance. It's like he's flirting with us, and you're like, you're just teasing me, yeah, little. Wait, but are you or aren't you? I'm so confused. Don't play games with me, Minagishi. Get into my fucking apartment and take your pants off, goddammit. Like, at least kiss me. Like, and I'd feel better about it, but... The light soon turned green, and he removed his hand from my head. Once it left my head, I must admit, felt a bit lonely. I will rely on you. I mumbled that to myself slowly. Oh, well, we're in his opinion now. Okay. This might not be the end. I don't know. After she sighed in relief, Hoshino looked out the window at the cityscape. Outside their car were lines of trees decorated with holiday lights. And these LED lights continued to shine brightly from Christmas all the way to White Day. And they were like a remnant of the previous year. Minagishi? Yes? I feel sad that the investigation's headquarters is being disbanded. Yes. I also realized what you said myself. Maybe the events of the past would repeat themselves. If that day comes, I'd hate to feel that same powerlessness, worrying about whether I can stand up to them. If the investigation's headquarters is disbanded, I'd feel like I would have fewer places to rely on. It's natural to feel that way. That's why I felt so happy when you asked me to rely on you more. This may sound pitiful, but I'm still just a rookie officer and I'm not that strong. And knowing your own weaknesses is a requirement as a police officer. And that's how the police department functions as an organization. We cooperate to better and support each other. Let's fight together as fellow police officers and lovers. God damn it, you forgot the lovers part. Yes. While I take in the flowing scenery, I felt that our tension was finally giving way. I felt joy in the fact that she now felt more comfortable around me. She's such a straightforward person. He's definitely not. Despite the few interactions I had with her, I realized my own weakness. I regretted how I created more problems. I just couldn't accept it. I was desperate to find what she had in her that led to the incidents being solved. Why did it have to be her? So are like you chasing me down just because you really feel like sorry for yourself? Because that just kills me. Oh, look, I'm just going to gloss over all of that and I'm going to not analyze him and I'm just going to be like, he loves me. Shh. Just let me have it, okay? Even if I learned the answer, nothing would change. My own failures and future goals remain the same. Oh, Minagishi? Perhaps because of the alcohol in her system, she lazily opened her mouth while facing forward. I still haven't given you my answer about whether that chocolate was friendship or special. Fucking say it was special. Huh? It was only for you, Minagishi. Huh! I made that one while thinking of you. Oh! And that means... My heart wavered violently and I found myself unable to speak. Oh! Oh my god! Knowing her, she likely made it different from the other chocolate because I was a superior, or because she didn't want to appear rude. And that was clearly the reason that she made it different from the other chocolates. It's supposed to be obvious, but you don't want it to be? I found myself desiring for there to be more of a reason than that. That's payback for teasing me. You're a terrible person. When she smiled so innocently, my desire to tease her back sparked up. Hoshino's cheek was slightly red, but was that just because of the lights outside? I underestimated her. She's much tougher than I thought. I gripped the wheel while thinking to myself. I had a rather evil idea. If I assumed that the certain someone who placed the collar on her was fixated on her, he'd place the collar on her, taunt her, and also try to recruit her. The person must be attracted to something about her, so there's a chance that he was still interested. Okay, there was a thought that popped into my head, like, in the last part, or, like, after, between when I was recording them, is like, I wonder if Minagishi would be the person. I think that the person who put the collar on you is in love with you, so I should, like, stay around you to, like, protect, and then just, like, Minagishi, do we really have to keep up this front? We've been dating for, like, the past 10 years, and we're married now, and we have 2 kids. This is fucking weird. All just for, it's work-related, Spacey, it's work-related. Okay, like, we're just in, all of a sudden, we're in this arranged marriage with fucking Minagishi, and we're like, is this how this is about. It's work. It's all about work. Are you sure? I don't think work. We had to have sex with each other. Yes, we do. Before we know it, we're like trapped in a relationship with him, and we're like, I mean, I guess I love him. I don't really have a choice. Like, so wrong. Anyway. Oh wait, did I read that? That person must be attracted to something about her, so the chance he was still interested. Okay. Well, then what if I changed Hoshino into something completely different than what that person was attracted to? Okay, now, okay, look, the romance was there, the moment was there, and you're ruining it. If I was the one to change her, what kind of look would that person have? I don't know, you'll see Saeki, huh? That's in bad taste. Minagishi, did you say something? No, just talking to myself. We were approaching her apartment. I deliberately slowed down and smiled at her. Thank you very much for tonight. I had a wonderful time on our date. Me too. I still didn't know why Adonis chose her, but I did discover one piece of information, that you're in love with me. And there was something about her that attracted people. I'll tell you one thing. I've gained a newfound personal interest in you that's unrelated to the work matters we spoke about today. Huh? So, I'll investigate that differently from now on. Why did she attract my heart like this? Because I'm fucking cute? Well, let's have dinner alone again. Agreed, Spacey Hoshino. Kiss me. Fucking kiss me, goddammit. Is this the end? Is that it? It is. Oh my god. No! I wanted... Okay, that was a beautiful CG. See? Okay, so there is, like, romanciness, but I didn't get a kiss! God damn it, Spacey. Knock that man over and take him. The weird thing is, if we go to others, is it gonna be his because we went to his story? Oh! Her short story is unlocked. His short story is unlocked. They weren't unlocked before. We're gonna have to do this a lot. Till we find Minagishi, right? Didn't he have one? He had to have had one, right? That's the only thing. That's the only thing I don't like. How do you know whose short story you've read and you haven't read? Like, Minagishi has to have, like... Well, what if we just go to album? Oh, okay. Wait, so that's just the opening credits, the clips for the end credit. Okay, so this is it. These are, okay, I can just go here at least. So, but does he have a short story? You know what I mean? How do you know? That's just our boyfriendos. You know? I don't know if he has one, but like how many people have them? It's confusing me. Oh, here we go. Okay. Short story 3. Oh. I can't switch. It shows the arrow, but you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't, like, switch if you flip it. If you click a button, it doesn't switch. Huh. We're gonna do this. We got a little bit of time. We'll do this. This will be a little bit longer, but anyway. I'll tell you one thing. I have a newfound personal interest in you, separate from the work matters we spoke about today. A few weeks after those words that appeared to be a declaration of war... Oh, wait a minute. A few weeks after those words that appeared to be a declaration of war... So what's going on between Minagishi and Hoshino? That's rare. I didn't think you'd be interested in gossip. Okay. A few weeks after those words that appeared to be a declaration of war. Okay, I'm very confused about what is happening here. Hold on. Because that's what Minagishi says to us. I'll tell you one thing. I have a newfound personal interest in you, separate from the work matters we spoke about. After a few weeks after those words that appeared to be a declaration of war. Okay. War to who? Interesting. So what's going on between Minagishi and Hoshino? This would make me think it's not either one of us in the conversation. I'm just going to read it because I don't know who's saying what. That's rare. I didn't think you'd be interested in gossip. You can't have some old dude seduce a young woman. It's a bad example as a cop. I'm going to say Okazaki and Sasazuka because they were the two that were like, you know what I mean? Oh, us. Okay, so one of them is me. Back. Okay. Because that's a wonderful sense of justice, but there's nothing between us. We're currently working during this uneventful time. I'd gone to the kitchen to get some caffeine and stumbled upon Sasazuka. Or maybe it should be Minagishi. Okay, so it's Sasazuka and Minagishi then. But, like, that's weird because it says... That's because in Japanese you would say your own... You know what I mean? And they just didn't translate it. Because then again, they're probably looking at this like, how the fuck do I know who's talking when? I hate the way they do this. Is it voiced? I don't know. Since he was on break away from work, he was more relaxed than normal around me. If you just want to... If you just want to have fun, look elsewhere. She takes every joke seriously. I'll keep my jokes to a minimum, but why would you think that I just want to have fun? I mean... Considering how there's still nothing going on, there's no way you're serious. Do you want something to happen? I'm saying it's creepy how you keep talking and suggesting and suggestive innuendos, I'm assuming. It's very like you to make things black and white. I'm sure deep down you're very worried about Hoshino. Am I wrong? Feel sorry for the stupid cat if she's got to deal with you. You're definitely right about that. I was keeping the relationship purposely ambiguous, so it was natural for others to think that way. It's not that I wasn't looking for developments. I did have a personal interest in her, and that was from the heart. But still, we were only in the realm of acquaintances. My statement to her was not laced with the intention to get to know her better in private, or to get into a relationship with her. But that's what... Stop it! You're fucking with me! Ugh! Oops. No! Okay, I hit the wrong button and I couldn't get the text back. Or rather, even if I did become lovers with her, that would be fine as well. But... Minagishi, why do you fuck with my heart like this? You're like, I want to get to know you better. Okay! And then he's serious, like, I'm not trying to get in a relationship with her. Oh, why do you break my heart like this? Anyway. So, Sasazuka, you're saying that since we're interested in each other, I should get serious? That's right. You're so cautious when it comes to work, but you're quite passionate in ways of love. Dilly-dallying's just a waste of everyone's time. You sure are a pragmatist. As someone who dislikes ambiguous relationships, I must say you do have a point. Perhaps it was due to his age, but his way of thinking was very practical. Burning passions weren't the only thing that could be categorized as human emotions. While I did like and was interested in them, these irregular interactions weren't so excessive. Perhaps I found these ambiguous things to be fun because I didn't really place so much importance on my private life. He feels a little Shiraishi. I feel like they're like twinsies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's kind of like an alien, like, huh, human emotions are weird. So Shiraishi moment, like I'm having right now. After returning to my desk, I noticed that there was a message on my cell phone. Sender is Spacey Hoshino. It's been a few weeks since our dinner. After exchanging thanks that day and the day after, neither of us had sent any messages. I looked at the message. Really? Okay. You want to get to know me better, but you haven't asked me out again? He's really fucking with me. I still love him, though. I apologize for contacting you during your busy schedule. I'd like to thank you for the dinner from last month. Main office. Is that with the disbanding of investigations headquarters, I was a little sad that I can't meet the people from the main office anymore. I think that's still me. I don't believe you'll visit the Shinjuku station very often anymore, Minagishi. But I made some bitter chocolate brownies. They do keep for quite a while, so I'd like to hand them to you if your schedule allows. She made us brownies. If you have business at the Shinjuku station, I'd appreciate it if you could send me a message. I wasn't able to stifle my smile. It was so easy to imagine her mulling over the message while writing this out. Yeah! Thank you, and knowing that this reward is waiting, I'll go to see you even if I have no other reason to. Wow, that teasing response came so naturally for me. It's kind of fucked up because you're fucking with our heart now. Like... Minagishi, I didn't think you'd actually come. I'm sorry if it seemed like I was rushing you. Please don't mind me. I actually did have some business in this area. Really? Would you rather that be a lie? Well, here it is. It's the thing I messaged you about. I was handed a cutely wrapped package while she thanked me. I recently gotten interested in bittersweet chocolate, so I was going to buy myself something on the way home. Thank you. It's not much, but please do let me know what you think of it. Yes, of course. An awkward silence passed over us. The commissioner of the main office and a rookie in the regional office. We're now in the type of relationship where we met for her to give me sweets for no particular reason. Yeah, she is slowly... You're like, I'm just teasing her. She is slowly worming her way in, and the next thing you know, you're going to be like, what? Wait, you live here now? Wait, what the fuck? He's going to wake up one day and be like, oh my god, you live here, we're dating, and we're married. Yeah, we're conning you into a relationship. That's what I'm going with. I see. This is a rather wholesome relationship. I'm only tricking you. I caught her eyes wandering, likely because she was thinking of a topic to talk about. I felt like it was about time to pull away. I could tell that she obviously had goodwill towards me. Objectively speaking, I obviously knew that it appeared that I was using my higher position to toy with her. While I enjoyed this slight wrinkle to this interaction, perhaps it could also be said that it was rather mean-spirited. What to do now? Kiss me. I should either continue to act like a gentleman or accept that my emotions are personal. I tried to calculate it through logic, but then decided to throw it all out. Hoshino, may I ask you something? Yes? Is it possible for you to see me as a potential mate? Huh? That is the way. Like when we first looked at him, he's like, the awkward nerd. That right there. That's why we think that about him. Because he's the awkward nerd and he doesn't understand human emotions. He's shiraishi, 100%. He is a little too shiraishi. That's maybe why I love you. I don't know. It's possible to see me as a potential mate. Humans don't talk like that. Oh my god, you're a fucking robot from the future. I mean that not as your superior at a job, but just as my own man. She stared at me as if time had just frozen, because she's trying to figure out who says potential mate. Although we hadn't known each other for long, I'm sure that she noticed. The difference between my jokes and when I was being serious, she must have noticed the border between the two. This might be rude of me. Oh, I suppose that's us? This might be rude of me, but do you mind if I'm honest with you? Of course, I need you to be. As for whether it's possible or not, it's possible. I see. Thank you very much. But why are you asking me this all of a sudden? I just felt this would be a fruitless endeavor if you couldn't see me as a potential mate. Fruitless? Minagishi, does that mean that you see me as someone you'd want to date? My question was to determine whether I'd be allowed to in the first place. Oh, he said that out loud to us. Okay. I thought he was saying that to himself. That explains her. If I was going to be serious, I figured that it'd be reassuring if I removed any misconceptions. I said that with a smile, but she appeared to still look awkward and confused. Yes, because you don't know how to human! Oh, good lord. Anyway, Hoshino, may I try and seriously date you? What? Please slow down a bit. This is all too sudden. I was certain that she felt more suspicious than bashful. She moved backwards away from me while still following me with her eyes. It hasn't been that long since we talked personally, and there are very attractive women all around you. Oh, that's me. Okay. It hasn't been that long since we talked personally, and there are very attractive women all around you, so why are you so interested in me? It's the jellyfish hair man. I thought I told you that my personal interest in you grew since the dinner the other day. But nothing happened then. And suddenly you want to see me as a mate? Why would we respond like that? Suddenly you want to see me as a mate? That implies some kinky shit. Okay. I mean, that implies some sexing's going on, which, I mean, hi, we know that's where it's going, but it's just weird to blatantly throw it out there like that. Instead of being like, let's go out and hang out and date each other. Okay, as opposed to like, can we just like get down to mating? What the fuck? This is difficult to explain. If you don't mind me clarifying things like this, I don't mind enjoying this relationship right now. What do you mean? I'm rather extreme in my private life. If I was going to tease, I'd go all in. If I wanted to trouble someone, I wanted to exchange diplomatic cunning while refusing to properly define anything. However, I wanted her to be mine. I wanted to close off all escape routes and make her become completely obsessed with me. He's a strange one. When I expressed it this way, it was often quite similar to criminal investigations in some ways. As setting aside this piece of discretion, I told Hoshino my intentions. I've told you what I desire, so I'd like you to choose. What do you even mean? She frowned and looked back at me. Her eyes had the color of anger, which caused me to swallow reflexively. He's like, oh god. That's like asking me to choose whether to be in a serious relationship or just to have fun. Without mincing words, that's correct. It also sounds like you want to start a relationship even before we've fallen in love. Well, I mean, you usually do that, don't you? You don't fall in love with someone instantly. You fall in love with them as you get to know them, which is part of dating. That may be true. The way she described it was accurate. In fact, this feeling of falling in love was something I hadn't experienced since I had started working. There may be interests, preferences, and even relationships that I started that were mutually beneficial, so I never quite bothered with it. It also sounds like this is nothing but a game to you, Minagishi. I hate things like that. So you're refusing both? Yes. It wasn't that I hadn't considered this outcome, but I didn't expect it. In my experience, young women were typically vulnerable to all things romance. Unfortunately, our values differed. Continuing a relationship that I could enjoy is meaningless. Besides, why am I the one to accept this? What? I'm assuming this is... Okay, this should be him. If this is really separate from work, if this is just between two individuals, then it should be okay for me to throw my weight around on you. I mean... Oh, I was saying that. Okay. I see, this is why I get confused. I don't know who's saying what. It hurts because I can't, it's not even like the next is a different color. It would help. She was right. Just because I was older didn't mean that I was the only one who had the right to tease. Until the moment she told that to me, I realized that I thought it was a given that I'd be the one doing the leading. That was extremely rude of me. I apologize for trying to force my selfish views on you. I'm not sure who's talking. It's unfitting for me to get hasty. Normally I'd interact with you in a way that wouldn't trouble you. Oh, this sounds more like me. It's unfitting for me to get hasty. Normally I'd interact with you in a way that wouldn't trouble you, but with you, I couldn't help but try out many different things. I also think that because you're so experienced, you also complicate things when you think about me. I took a breath and I see that her eyes have regained calmness and were looking straight at me. Can't we just try to grow closer to each other little by little? It was not a look of some innocent, ignorant girl, but the attractive countenance of an independent woman. It's not bad, but... It's all right. If I get sick of it, I'll say so. I'll be ruthless if it's separate from work. I'll create a situation where you can't say no. Ugh, I'll take that challenge. You will? And you sure are strong-willed. Considering how she didn't outright reject this relationship, it appeared that she had at least somewhat favorable feelings for me. Okay, I like this. She was like, no! And she's like, nah, just fucking with you. All right. Otherwise, she wouldn't have texted me to come here. Well, Hoshino, when it comes to our interactions, I'll take things seriously. Yes. Are you prepared for this? I'm already regretting it. Previously, I had shown my desire to protect her and camaraderie, but now I showed her a different expression. Perhaps she instinctively sensed danger because the strength in her voice appeared weaker. Yeah, this is the predatory look. So where shall we go to start things off? I think I'd like to call it a day. I told you I'd get serious, didn't I? Do you really think I'll let you get away? This is where we get taken to our apartment and thrown on the bed like Sasazuka did that time. Ugh. That's unfortunate. If we weren't so close to the police station, I could get closer to you. This wasn't fitting for my age, but I couldn't hide my excitement. Because we didn't have much contact at work, I took full advantage of that. When we were alone, I could remove my mask. She was the only one looking. It's fine to skip ahead a few steps with shock therapy, but that'd all go to waste if you grew to hate me. I still haven't come up with a strategy. I've rarely dealt with women this much younger, but the typical method wasn't the right way. Although that aspect just made it all the more fun. Well, shall we begin in the customary way? Shall we have dinner, Hoshino? I sent this as a signal to the start of a different type of relationship. I'm sorry, this part's very long. I didn't think his short story was... Anyway, tactics, yeah. I wonder if he has other ones. Because you know what I mean? It's got like the arrow things, but... Oh, whoops, no. I didn't mean to do that. Back. Are you ending story? Yes, I hit the wrong button. Alright, well. There we go. But if we go to album, it doesn't take you to... It's not a separate page for him. It's fine. So anyway, he's an interesting sadistic little fuck, isn't he? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to skip through that one so fast. And actually, wait, hold on. Show alternatives is A. Okay. Okay, we can go back now. This one is actually adorable. Like, It's kind of funny because he does, like, I don't know. Like, the relationship is a little awkward. I will give people that. That's the same one. We're leaving it on this one because he's precious. It is, I kind of get the feel, like, the weird, like, power dynamic thing being a strange issue. But I kind of feel like even in the after story, like, she's getting a little, like, smart and sassy with him. You know what I mean? Like, she's kind of playing off, like, yeah, you're going to be kind of like a sadistic fuck, so I'm going to kind of tease you a little too. She's not as good at it. Like, don't get me wrong, she's not. So he's still going to one-up her. But I like that she's trying, you know what I mean? So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, yes, I could see, between the two of them, yes, that personal relationship is a little awkward, but I still like him. Like, I like the twist. They gave you the nerd. You're like, okay, he's kind of like the nerdy, standoffish, slightly robotic one who doesn't understand human relationships and understand humans. Absolutely like that, but in the weird, sadistic, shiraishi kind of way. You're like, wow, I didn't actually expect that to happen with him, but I still like it. But that's because I like Minagishi. He's got the glasses, so I don't mind it. If he were anyone else and this happened, would I be like, fuck you, bro? Maybe. I might have been a little more about it, but see, that's the thing. It's like when you like a character, when they do like kind of fucked up shit, you make excuses for it, but if it's somebody you're not into, you're like, fuck them! You know? Like, absolutely. But, I mean, well, anyway, so yeah, that was Minagishi's short story. And when we come back in the next part, we will start another of the main routes. It's interesting that now, like, other side stories are all open, but I'm not sure when you're supposed to read them. Because a lot of those characters are characters within Adonis. I feel like we shouldn't read them till we do the Adonis kind of route, so we'll figure it out. But, you know, it would make more sense. But, or we'll find out times. Because, like, what's his face? Why can't I remember his name? You know, single dad that took our dog and Sasazu. Why can I not remember his fucking name? Anyway, he's got one. So when maybe it'll make more sense to do his and some other one. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Or we'll do them all at the end. I don't know. But we will start one of our main guys, one of our other ones next. I'm not sure if we'll do Enomoto or Okazaki, because I feel like Yanagi we should do closer to the end. We should probably do him before Shiraishi. Shiraishi I definitely want to do last. And I feel like we should do Yanagi before Shiraishi. So I'm not sure if we'll do Enomoto or Okazaki next. I'll figure it out. I don't know. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.